Okay, I'm gonna go live. No. And we are live. Hey David, what's going on?
Hey Chuck, good to speak to you again. How's life?
Life is good. Uh,
Good
it's
to hear
it's
that.
been busy. How about you?
Same, really busy. But hopefully in a few days things are going to be even more busy.
Yeah, because we are we going to Cisco Live? Are you going to Cisco Live?
Well, I don't know, I thought about going, but then I heard that you might be there, so I decided perhaps not.
Well, no. So enough coy play. We will be going to Cisco Live.
Definitely, yes.
We'll be there. We'll be hanging out. We'll be talking to everyone we can, and getting to the bottom of whatever questions you guys have. Uh, Go
I was
ahead,
going to
David.
say, I mean, it'd be great for, everyone watching or anyone who's going to be there. If you're watching and you're going to be at Cisco Live, please come and see us. It'd be great to meet you.
Yeah, I mean we're basically going there just to see you guys. My
Yeah.
goal there, like a lot of people go to Cisco Live to learn, which is great. That's what you should go there for. But we're going there just to hang out and and go around and meet people and do some interviews. So it should be really fun. And we're gonna just be probably in the DevNet zone a lot,
Yeah.
and then in a lot of different places.
I was just going to say, I mean, it's going to Cisco Live. There's so many things that you can do, and I think the thing about the sessions is they at least they recorded. So if you miss a session, you can just watch it online. So I mean, that's sort of our plan. I think Chuck is that we are more going there to meet people, to interview network engineers, interview people, get behind the scenes stuff. But it's just to network, as in not network, learn about networking, but network with people, meet people.
Yeah, I mean, like that's, I mean, people who go to Cisco Live, I mean, going there and learning is great.
Yeah,
But like David said, all that stuff is available for replay for free for everyone, even if you don't have a Cisco Live ticket. So the
yeah,
big thing in going to Cisco Live is first, it's just really cool, like geek. They call it Geek Summer Camp. Uh,
yeah,
but the other part is meeting people. The people you meet here. I mean, I've heard so many stories of people meeting, like Jason Gooley met
yeah,
someone at Cisco Live who got him a job at Cisco. So like everyone is just hanging out. You're meeting people who are like-minded, and it's just amazing. So yeah, we're kind of like doing a commercial for Cisco Live, but it is awesome. I dreamed for last year was my first Cisco Live, and I dreamed for so many years like going. And I tried to get every job I worked at to pay for me to go because it's not cheap. But if you're able to go, if you're able to get your company to pay for you, it's amazing. It really is. Just it's for me, it's like when you're at an IT company, you might be at a smaller company, bigger company, and you kind of feel if you're the only network guy, you kind of feel alone. You feel alone in your knowledge. You feel alone in your excitement and your passion, and it's hard to come in every day and like be excited. But when you go to Cisco Live, everybody there cares
yeah.
exactly about what you care about, and it's electric. It's fun. Like you come away from it so hyped, and that's I'm ready for it.
I mean, Chuck, you must have had this experience. People ask me, what do you do? First question, do you know who Cisco are? And if they don't know who that is, then it's like the conversation ends. And it's amazing in today's world that so many people still don't know what networking is, don't know what Cisco is. But I agree with you. When you're at Cisco Live, you meet so many people who are into the technologies that we're into. And I mean, there's something to be said about meeting someone face to face and just having a coffee. Well, in your case, having a coffee, or or just talking. Uh, in an informal environment, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, it's not just that you're hanging out at a random place. You're hanging out
Yeah,
at Cisco, like the biggest network conference. It might maybe one of the biggest IT conferences of the year, and like you're around really amazing stuff. Like the stuff they have set up is incredible. So many geeky things to look at, and yeah, we're gonna be capturing it in video everywhere. So if you guys like, what do you want to see there? Who do you want
yeah.
us to interview? Like I think every big person in networking in Cisco, all the people you admire are gonna be there. So we're going to capture all that. So if you have ideas for what you want to see from us, we're going to try our best to take you on the journey and show you. And we'll have opportunities to go behind the scenes and look at some things, which will be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, just to, let people know some of the things that we might get up to. I mean, being part of the Cisco Champions is fantastic because we get access to behind the scenes stuff. So, I mean, we'll hopefully get some nice footage for those of you who are not going. But I agree with you, Chuck. I mean, I think it's really important that the audience, people who are watching, tell us who they want us to interview. I mean, I might think someone's, interesting, but I mean, who do you want us to interview? Who would you like us to speak to? It'd be great to interview Chuck Robbins, but I mean, I'm not sure that's possible. But who would you like us to talk to?
On that note, though, I mean, it would be really cool to interview Chuck Robbins, which is
Yeah.
the CEO of Cisco. So I think we probably could
Maybe,
if we had a
maybe
bit of
one
help
day.
from our followers. I think
Yeah, exactly. That's a good
if we
point.
get some things like we need like a hashtag or something. What could be a hashtag for us to try and push the envelope by to interview Chuck Robbins? I don't know.
But I will say this. I mean, he's on Twitter, so if you want us to interview him, send him messages. Tweet to him. See if you can, inundate the Cisco, corporate account and his account with like messages that you want us to interview him. If that's something that you want us to do.
Yeah, that's a really great idea. So yeah, bombard Chuck Robbins' Twitter, like right now. Just say, hey, David and Chuck, want to interview you. Set this up, CiscoLIVE. Just hammer him. Let's see what happens. It could. I don't know. You never know.
Long shot, but we can give it a go. Maybe we'll have a chance. If you don't try, you don't know. So we might as well try.
Exactly. We have some from the chat. I almost said twat. Chat.
You don't want to say that, dude. That's the right word.
Wi-Fi 6, and if Meraki will have a Wi-Fi 6 products in the pipe. Actually, I think they already do.
They do already have it.
Yeah.
They already have. Yeah, Meraki have Wi-Fi 6 products.
Yeah, so it's actually really, really neat, and I'll go by their booth and record some stuff. Do you want us to go live there at CiscoLIVE? Do you want us to do things? So let us know about that. And someone said I should put a GoPro on my beard. I have something like that. I'm going to be doing I have a 360 camera as well as David does, and I'm going to try and create videos where you can actually almost feel like you're there as much as I can create that environment for you, kind of immersive. So that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean, it's when I went to CiscoLIVE in Barcelona, I mean, that was my first CiscoLIVE. There was so much going on. There's so much there. So yeah, any kind of like guidance and any kind of like ideas of what you want us to show you, then let us know. I don't think it's really necessary to show as much product videos, but because Cisco have all the product videos. But if you've enjoyed some of the videos like Chuck did on Wi-Fi 6 or the stuff I've done, if there's specific like technical interviews you'd like us to have or people you'd like us to speak to, then let us know. I'm going to try and avoid, and I think Chuck, you the same. I mean, we're going to be doing stuff together, but also doing stuff by ourselves. We want to avoid like the salesy type stuff. So hopefully it'll be technical and behind the scenes stuff rather.
Yeah, like the things I love hearing about new products, but I mean, a lot of you guys aren't dealing with the latest updates to whatever Cisco Catalyst 9600 thing there is. People like that, but not everyone's dealing with that day to day. So we want to capture, what I'm trying to capture, and David is just the excitement of what Cisco is.
Yeah,
this amazing career path, what it's like to be in a huge environment like that, and we'll have like a NOC tour, the Network Operations Center that runs CiscoLIVE, which is a huge endeavor, and that's really cool. And then they have a Security Operations Center. So we'll see a lot of cool things that I think are interesting for anybody at any level, from CCNA, CCNP, even CCIE. And that's what we're trying to capture, not just the salesy marketing thing. It's about the IT journey. And not just Cisco people are going to be there. I mean, a ton of companies are going to be there. So it's going to be interesting to see what we can find and put out here.
I mean, we've had someone ask about Meraki. Is there any other sort of technology areas that you're interested in? I mean, I do a lot of stuff with the DevNet guys. So, I mean, Chuck, hopefully you and I'll spend a lot of time in the DevNet zone. Is that still of interest, or you're interested in something else? I mean, Wi-Fi 6 has been mentioned, but are there any other sort of technology areas that you're interested in? Let us know now, or put comments below the video so that we try and capture what you want to see rather than just what we think is interesting.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because we've talked a lot, and definitely you, David, about network programmability, almost till we're blue in the face.
Is it dead now?
It's just dead because you talked about it. So you killed it. You talked about it too much.
So Python. Python.
No, we're not skipping. He's just repeating. Yeah, like, let us know what you want to know about, because I know like Wi-Fi 6 is a big thing. That's going to be huge. Um, it'll take some time, like any other technology, to become popular because you have to have devices to like. I still can't find a affordable and something that makes sense to use as a Wi-Fi 6 client to test out my Wi-Fi 6 APs.
I just buy on a Samsung phone. Come on.
Affordable, I said.
Oh, sorry.
Oh man. But yeah, so we'll be hanging out in DevNet, and DevNet's always doing cool things. I mean,
Yeah.
network programmability is a thing, and they're coming out with all these new frameworks. So like, we still talk about the confusion of, well, is it going to be Payat? Is it Nornir? Is it Genie? Is it blah blah blah? Like, fill in the blank. There's going to be 15 new ones next month. Like, it's confusing. And also, I mean, some Cisco certifications are
Yeah,
they should be
I
renewed.
know. All are we going to say, Chuck, is NDA.
All I'm saying is that look at the
NDA.
timelines for Cisco certifications, and I'm not saying anything, and I don't know anything. And be honest, I don't know anything about what's renewing, but it is my mission at CiscoLIVE to find out what's happening, because that's a big deal. It affects everybody.
I mean, I had that interview with Yusuf at CiscoLIVE in Barcelona, and I've sent him a message, and hopefully I'll be able to speak to him again. I mean, Chuck, you should join me for that. I mean, it'd be great for both of us to talk to him about certs and find out what's going on. I think that would be of great interest to most people.
I like how that was very very PC, of great interest. I think you will really, really enjoy that. No, yeah. So I'm totally gonna crash that
Etiquette,
interview.
Chuck, something you need to learn.
Well, you're coming to America, sir. We don't.
Oh, sorry.
We have a little bit of etiquette. And yeah, of course, we're gonna be drinking. Like, San Diego has some of the best coffee shops I've ever been to. So I'm gonna try and take David to a few of these and
That'd be great.
get him to like coffee get off that whole tea thing, that weak tea.
You've got a tough job, Chuck. We'll see. Can you convince me in a week? We shall see.
Yeah, that'll be the big tell. Someone's asking
Any
about
questions? Yeah, go on. Sorry, questions.
other technologies. That they're asking about Juniper. Are we gonna look at Juniper? I don't. I think Juniper might have a booth there.
I don't know. We'll have to find out. I don't know. I mean, it's CiscoLIVE. Most of my focus is Cisco, and I think yours is as well. But I mean, we can find out, definitely.
Yeah, and someone asked, are we going to see any other like big trainers like Jeremy Chara? He doesn't go to CiscoLIVEs, so we won't see him. But I will be hanging out with him next week. So shameless plug. Because I'll be going to Oregon next week. I'm actually leaving tomorrow. And then, but he said Kevin Wallace and there's Keith Barker will be there. So yeah, we'll probably get a chance to hang out with those guys and get them on video. That'd be fun.
I mean, who do you want us to talk to? Give us some names. I mean, Kevin definitely. Keith's there, so hopefully we can speak to him as well. Anyone else? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments, and we'll try to set it up. And if you, again, I think the easiest way to do it is if you know of someone you want us to talk to, tag both of us on Twitter, and that's usually a pretty good way for us to meet up.
Yeah.
But
what are the questions we've got? I mean, we can talk about CiscoLIVE for days, but it's like, I don't want this to sound like, pumping CiscoLIVE. I mean, it's a great place for us to learn a lot of the, the behind the scenes stuff. I mean, I really enjoyed the interviews I had with people at CiscoLIVE in Barcelona, and hopefully, everyone else enjoyed that. So if that's the kind of content that you want, then we can create more of that. But, let us know what kind of content you want us to create.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, it's like I went last year and I said I was going to post a bunch of content, and if you guys were following me, I didn't post it at all. So my bad. But this year, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna make it different this year. I'm gonna post as much content as I can about the experience because it really is cool. And
so I mean, we won't spoil the surprise, Chuck. But I mean, there might be an opportunity for Chuck and I to do a bunch of live sessions. So, would you like us to recap what we saw during a day on a lot of live calls, or do you prefer, recorded videos? So let us know that kind of thing as well. I mean, Chuck, I think you've already asked that, but I mean, would people like more live stuff or more recorded videos that are edited, like podcast type stuff? So let us know the kind of content you want to see.
Yeah, I mean, someone actually had a great question. They would want to see how a testing center is set up. so people can kind of visualize what it's like. And that's a good thing because, like, I forget, like, I've taken so many
If
certification
they let us
exams.
record it, if they let
Yeah,
us
they're very very
strict about that, yeah.
yes, they are. But yeah, that's a good point because, like, I've taken a million certification exams, and I'm so used to the it's not the most friendly of place to take an exam. Like, you walk in and it's like a really horrible computer and a really horrible keyboard, and you feel like you're back in elementary school, and it's it's not conducive to, like, great thoughts. And there's no coffee. That's the biggest downside. That would be a good idea. Be a good idea. Here's a question: what are the chances that Cisco announces Cisco routing and switching exam getting revised this year?
NDAs.
It's you can speculate wildly. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
we don't know.
if you follow the timeline, that's all I'm saying. Let's see. Someone asked about Michael Montana is asking about my CCIE studies. Of course he would bring that up. Don't ask about that
Yeah,
right
what
now.
are you taking? You going to take the exam, Chuck? Come on, let's put you on the spot now.
Yes, so Thursday morning at CiscoLIVE, I will be taking the exam at 8 a.m., which I'm an idiot because I didn't know that was the morning after the customer appreciation event, which is, I think, Weezer and Foo Fighter will be there. Foo Fighters. So yeah, I'll probably be tired, and it'll be a miracle if I get any questions right. But it's going to be a shot in the dark for me. I haven't had a lot of time to study, I'll be honest. I'll be on a plane a lot here soon, so I'll be squeezing in some last minute stuff. For me, it's just a gauge to see, gosh, what's the breadth of it? And then I'm going to just, as much as I can without violating any kind of NDA or policy, regurgitate to you what it's actually like. Because it is the tip top.
So, I mean, Chuck, what's your experience been of that thus far? How have you felt it different compared to like CCNP, CCNA studies? Has there been a big jump? What's your experience sort of going into it thus far?
It's been like, I don't know. I guess the first big thing for me, and I posted it on Twitter, was just that, gosh, I passed my CCNP T-shoot in January, and since then I really haven't touched Cisco routing and switching stuff. I've been focusing on Azure. So jumping into CCIE and, like, doing some labs, I'm like, you have to have the knowledge of everything you've studied up until now to do this, and more. And I've forgotten half of what I've studied, so it's humbling. And I'm having to go back and, like, pop open basic stuff, like, how does that work again? And when I Google it, the first thing that pops up is a CCENT article, and I'm like, oh gosh, am I that far behind? So it is humbling, and it's but it's also really great because I always hear it. The CCIE is the true mark, the true test of being, like, the tip-top network engineer. And I know people say that they feel like they just started once they get their CCIE, but I mean, you are at your best when you get your CCIE. I always hear that they are the best they've ever been, and that's what I'm hoping for. Now the big question, and I'm gonna need some feedback from you guys, and this test for me is gonna kind of be my litmus test to see if I'm actually gonna go for the CCIE. I don't know. So y'all gonna have to.
I think you should, but it's a big time investment. So
yeah.
To balance CCIE studies versus, I mean, you've got a young family, which is going to grow very soon.
Yep.
There's a lot of big things in your life that you have to worry about. But I will say this. I mean, I think CCIE is a humbling experience. I see it a lot. Guys get very confident, let's put it that way, politely, when they get their CCNP. And then when they get to CCIE, then suddenly you realize how little you actually know. And it's exactly that. When I got my CCIE, I realized I know so much about so much. And, the more you study, the more you realize how much more there is to know. It's never ending.
Yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but I don't like feeling humble. Or I don't like feeling being humble is a good thing, but I don't like being humbled. That's what I don't like. Who likes that? So finding out you don't know a lot, and that's not a fun experience to go through, but it should be. I'm hoping it makes me better. And what I'm hoping is that, like, I would never want to take time away from doing This Is IT or NetworkChuck. So I'm hoping that it will equip me to make really great videos about the experience of going through this. And so I have to find that balance. That's kind of the key thing for me with going for the CCIEs. Will it take me away from this? Because this is honestly more important to me. So
are you going to create technical videos about your journey, stuff like that, or just your experience? What do you think? And what would people want to see? Do you think people would be interested to see, like, you learning about new technologies like BGP, pushing it further, or MPLS, stuff like that?
Yeah, it's a good question, guys. Let me know. I think initially I'm going to start out like just kind of talking about the experience, but you can only talk about the experience so much without running out of content. So I think I will like start making videos. One video idea I have to kind of go through, let me know what you think, is to create like a video about a topic and examine it from the CCINT, the CCNA, CCNP, and then the CCIE level to see how the depth changes, kind of like start in the kiddie pool and then, fill it up to Olympic sized pool depth and see how that feels.
That sounds like a great idea. What other questions we got?
One guy said he would love to see some stuff filmed like Linus Tech Tips when they are at CES. Hey, I'll try that. I'll have to actually go watch them and get some notes and try to do that.
Like what in particular? Is it like talking about new product releases, that kind of stuff?
Yeah. What is it? What
Linus
is it?
do? That's good.
Yeah, let us know what exactly you want us to copy from Linus. I'll copy it. Let's see. One guy said, "Hi, David and Chuck. Good morning. We are always focusing on technology side of things, and now moving to the era of SDN and many products and vendors getting available in the market. They want discussion. They want to see us talking about SDN, and that's a good point too. Like Cisco and DevNet are not the only ones doing SDN. A bunch of other companies. That's the beauty of what Cisco's done, is they've opened up their APIs to all their stuff they created, from DNA to StealthWatch to all that. So that means that a bunch of other companies can come in and program and create their own products that may be even better than Cisco. Did he just say that? Yeah, it could happen. It could happen.
I didn't hear that, Chuck. The SDN is a difficult one because SDN was like big hype a few years ago, and I mean, the hype is dying down now. But it's always that old question I like to say: what is SDN? What kind of SDN are we talking about? Because I think OpenFlow is in the past. So if people are asking us to talk about OpenFlow, we could just say straight off the bat, OpenFlow, the train is left. It's in the past. I wouldn't concentrate a lot on OpenFlow today. I'd look at other things. So what type of SDN are we talking about? Because in university environments, they'll teach OpenFlow, and it makes a lot of sense, if you're studying at university. But in real world deployments, OpenFlow didn't get a lot of traction. There are some examples of it out there, but generally it didn't take the industry by storm as a lot of people expected. But network automation, or programmability, is that SDN? What do you define as SDN? And I think that's the hardest part, because when the SDN hype was very big, every vendor came out with, this is our SDN solution. And I had a long call with Ivan Pepelnyak the other day. And I mean, I made the joke, this is my software-defined T-shirt. I mean, what is SDN?
Yeah.
It can apply to anything.
Well, it really is such a buzzword nowadays, because it can mean so many things and apply to so many things. I think it would be cool, guys, and if you're going to CiscoLIVE, I would love to hear a story about how you've used SDN in your environment, if you have it all.
Practical
stuff. Because we hear so much about what the industry wants to happen, but that doesn't always reflect what's actually happening. I'll talk to a lot of people who they don't even think about network programmability right now. It's not even a thing. They're running a network, and that's what they do every day. It's what you learn in your books and CCNA and beyond, but they're not doing that. So I want to hear more about how people are doing this in the real world, how they're feeling the pressure to do that, why they need to do that, and the things they've automated. That would be really cool. So come find us and tell us your story. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be cool. I mean, if you want us to interview you, then come and find us. I mean, if there's a really cool story, Chuck, then perhaps we can interview, just people who watch the the videos. So come and tell us your story, and then perhaps we can interview you and give examples to everyone else of practical. But I keep emphasizing that word, because SDN, a lot of hype, but not a lot of practical examples of the original SDN, OpenFlow. So be good to see practical, real world examples of what you're doing.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Like, really, because I ask the question myself. I always ask people. That's one of every interview I have. I ask people, are you actually using network programmability? Are you actually learning it? How are you using it? That'd be an amazing thing to find out. And by the way, do not be afraid to come up and talk to us. We are there to talk. Don't think we're busy. I mean, we might be busy, but don't think we're too busy. That's why we're there, is to hang out with you guys. The way I see CiscoLIVE is one big long meetup to hang out with everyone I can. Doesn't matter who you are. I want to hear your story. And if it's good enough, we'll interview you. but it should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I always say this, Chuck. I mean, for me personally, I'm not sure if it's the same for you, but I'm pretty sure it is. We're just two normal guys. We, network engineers who've, taken different paths in our careers, and we've started sharing videos on YouTube and sharing content to help others. But we're just normal guys. So, there's nothing special about us. Come and say hello. It'd be great to meet people.
Well, now I'm a normal guy. That David Bombal guy is a little weird. So let's
Says the guy with a beard.
yeah, well, San Diego is kind of my place, okay?
It is.
That's where I'm normal. Saying normal is kind of like SDN. It can be applied in different areas in different ways, and no one really knows what it means. But no.
I'll say this, Chuck. You're very special.
Oh, thank you. That means you're special too, David. No, yeah. So we're like. God, we're just normal people. We just happen to get in front of our camera and make fun of it and just talk. That's all we are. So
and hopefully be interesting. Yeah, hopefully be interesting.
Yeah. That's all it is. And sometimes we are, sometimes we aren't. And just come talk to us. We really want to meet you. We want to hear your story. And if you have any questions, if you need advice, certification advice, career advice, we'll give you what we can. And if we don't know, we can find somebody because David and I know a bunch of people now because we're making videos. Kevin Wallace and Keith Barker and Jeremy Char, all these people. We can, if we don't know it, we can find out for you. So, anything else, David? Or actually, I think hold on, we got one more question.
That'd be good to it's good to answer questions on these live kind of streams. So if you've got any more questions there, then read them out.
Yeah. So again, we got another question about certification updates. Again, we will
do our best to find out.
Like I'm gonna be a detective. I'm gonna be sleuthing through the whole place trying to find out the lowdown on it. Dwayne says, and this is a question for you, David. He says, would you recommend going to CiscoLIVE as a newbie? He's in your mentorship program. He's bought the lab from my Amazon link, which I'm assuming is I don't know what it is, but he works for Spectrum as a service technician. Would you recommend he go?
I mean, I would always recommend you go if you can. I mean, I haven't been for many, many years. So I went for the first time this year. And I mean, I'm not as young and youthful as you are, Chuck. So it's taken me a long time to get there. So, I mean, do I regret not going earlier? Definitely. I think it would have been beneficial for me to have gone much earlier in my career. So I think if you can go just because you're going to meet people. And again, I've said it earlier, there's something to be said for meeting someone in person. Just making personal contact. Would I go just to go to the sessions? Perhaps not, because you can see those online, even though, once again, there's a lot of good content. I think the main reason to go to CiscoLIVE is to meet people, network. A lot of us are introverts, perhaps, and we shy, don't want to just, go and say hello to someone. But you need to get over that and just, go and introduce yourself to people, go and network, go and meet people, because when you meet people, that's when doors open. The problem is cost. It's a lot of money to invest. So, I mean, for me to fly to the US, to go to CiscoLIVE, stay in a hotel, there's quite a lot of money involved in that. So, if your company can sponsor you, definitely. Or as Chuck did, try and find companies that can sponsor you to go. But if you're paying for yourself, that's a big financial decision that you need to make and think carefully about. So that's the hard one, I think, Chuck, is, I don't know what your thoughts are, but if you've got lots of money lying about, definitely. But if you,
and also, we got a PayPal button over here.
Where are we going?
We'll get a PayPal button for a donation if you have a lot of money laying around.
Yes.
But yeah, CiscoLIVE's expensive, and my opinion on it would be if you're positioned to network and try to get yourself a job, if you're in that place where you feel ready to start like pushing yourself and marketing yourself, yes. But if you're like still really new and you don't have your CCNA yet and you're still learning the basics, I think the benefits of going to CiscoLIVE and networking with a bunch of networking people may not be not from the job perspective. I mean, you'll definitely have a great experience. I mean, no matter what. But is it worth it for the money? That's hard to say. It's going to be up to you. If you're pinching pennies like a lot of us have been in the early stages, I would say no. If you got a bunch of money,
I'd say I agree. I mean, if you're at pre-CCNA level, rather get your CCNA and CCNP. Take the money invested in that first. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you there, Chuck.
Oh, no, good. You just finished my sentence for me. We're hanging out too much.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I mean, I would say take the money and invest in yourself. Like get your certifications first. So, I mean, I think you raise a really good point there, Chuck. I mean, if it's right in the beginning, you've got to remember the people that you're meeting. The people that you're meeting, if you're looking for a job, are going to be network people or people that can perhaps get you a job in a networking role. So, yeah, you've got to at least have the base skills to get those positions. But networking is always good. I mean, it's amazing what happens in life. If you, as that saying goes, it's not always what you know, it's who you know. And I think there's some truth in that. The more people that you know, the more likely your chances are. But is it worth the investment? That's a hard choice.
Yeah, it definitely is. But yeah, if you can go, I mean, I see people all the time who save their money all year just to go to this event because it is important. It's a life changer. You meet people, you become friends, and I just commented on someone's comment this morning. The key to being successful in IT is first having really great communication skills, learning how to learn, but then networking. Like it's really who you know. I can't tell you how many jobs I've had open up to me just because I talk to people and network with them, and they said, hey, I know just the guy, this Chuck guy over here, he can do that job. So just networking, the non-technical side is so huge because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know what door can open. Just, keep yourself open. That's, gosh, so much can be said about that. And CiscoLIVE is a great place to do it.
I was going to say one extra thing. I mean, Router Guards is like a meetup group that you can join, and they sending 2 people to CiscoLIVE this year. So they actually have asked people to contribute money, donate, and they're sending 2 people to CiscoLIVE this year. I think it's 2. So, join Router Guards. Join groups like that where, you can network virtually with other people, but also stand the chance of perhaps going to CiscoLIVE, as part of their sponsorship.
Yeah, and also I want to throw this out there. David and I have been talking. If there are enough people in San Diego who cannot go to CiscoLIVE but would like a chance to meet up and hang out and talk networking outside of CiscoLIVE, let us know. We'll set up something. It could be cool, like just something informal, like a great coffee shop somewhere, which they have an amazing amount of coffee shops. I'm going to touch on a question Michael mentioned earlier. Michael Montanez said, "Will I be bringing my coffee set up?" No, I won't be bringing my own stuff because when I travel, I like to try the local flavor. I like to go to coffee shops. So I'll be taking David to a few of my favorite places like Dark Horse Coffee. They are amazing. My mug broke, so I gotta get a new mug. And there's a few others that are just like Peter McKinnon. If you guys watch him, his coffee shop that he works with is in San Diego. So I'll be taking David there. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good.
You better tweet about it like every morning or something, Chuck. Tell people where we are. So if they want to come and see us,
That's
they
true.
know where we're going
we could let you guys know. Y'all can meet us up there. And that applies to anyone who's going to CiscoLIVE or not, just lives in San Diego. That could be fun. Someone asked about we should find out more about 5G and IoT. That's a good one.
Okay. Yep, that's a good one.
We'll dive deep on that.
Yeah, 5G has just been released in the UK. So, I mean, I think it's 2 days ago, 5G was turned on the UK. So, yeah, it's here already. So, yeah, we can find out what specifically do you want to know? Is it the technical details of 5G? IoT, what do you want to know? Is it product? Is it technical details? Give us some guidance because that's, those are big technology areas.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't tell us, we'll just get it all. Tyler asks, he says, due to my area, there seems to be a lot more systems positions opening up. Would you recommend trying for a systems specialist analyst position before taking on a network position? I would say, yeah, if there's nothing else out there, then take whatever you can get in IT. Oftentimes when you're working in an IT department and you might just be a systems specialist, you may have the opportunity to kind of go over and work on the networking side a little bit. You never know. What's your take on that, David?
Yeah, I mean, Catherine, who I interviewed at CiscoLIVE, she wrote a really good blog entry about jobs. And I've read that a few times and I recommend people go and read that. So, I mean, we can link to that. She wrote about the issues that you have finding jobs. And one of them is, where are you physically based? And unfortunately, often if you want to get a specific type of job, you've got to move. It's just, if you're in the middle of nowhere, it's very unlikely that you're going to get a certain type of job. So when it comes to jobs, finding the right job, I mean, start somewhere, start where you are. But unfortunately, at some point, you may end up having to move. It's just the reality of the job market.
Yeah, that's the annoying part is like remote jobs they're out there. And it took me forever to find a network engineer job that was remote because most of the times they want you on site. That's just how it is. Oh, by the way, Dimitri Fiegel's here. What's up,
Hey,
Dimitri?
Dimitri.
He
Good to
says,
have you here. We better talk to you about Narnia some more. And, you owe me
yes.
an interview.
Every time David says Nornir, I think he's saying Narnia, and I get really excited. But I guess I should be equally excited about Nornir. He said he's excited to see you again, David, and to meet me for the first time. Yeah, I'm excited to finally meet you, Dimitri. It'll be
Good.
fun. Let's see. Dwayne Hamilton said he might come to Cisco Live and get the Explorer Pass, which I think is like $700. Yeah, that's the thing. Like a full conference ticket's like $6,000 something, or $3,000 something like that. It's not cheap, but you can get the Explorer Pass, where you can just, I guess, explore, walk around the main part.
I know it's kind of restricted where you can go, so I don't know the details of where you can and can't go.
I think the main point is that you can't schedule a session, can't go to like learn, and you can't, you don't get that free exam voucher. But then at the same time, you can rewatch everything after it, so not a big deal. And then he asked, "What's the best way to reach us for a meetup?" Dwayne, we'll be posting. I'll be on Instagram stories and posts and YouTube and stuff. So I'll be posting what we're going to be doing, and we'll probably go to an idea I had was for David and I to go to a coffee shop every morning to start the day. I want to get him. By the time he leaves, he's going to have the full spectrum of what coffee is in America, and he might be a different person. I think his accent might change, and he'll finally not be weird.
Well, let's speak American English afterwards.
Oh, you'll speak correct English.
Oh, correct English. I like that.
No, you'll just be a much more awake person and have a new zest for life.
Yeah, confused and very very hyped. Is that right?
Yes.
Be much more energetic, lots of coffee.
Well, that's how I live.
That's right. I was wondering how you got so much energy. You're just you're high most of the time.
You're exactly right. And watch what you say in California, though. I'm not high on California in life.
That's true. You're not Elon Musk smoking a joint. So, yeah, good point.
But no, I mean, honestly, I drink coffee all day, and I don't eat food until dinner. So, like, coffee literally is my fuel. Mitch says, will he have a full beard by then?
I doubt it.
No, that's gonna take a lot more. This is from a decade of concentrated coffee drinking. Anyways, oh yeah, and Dimitri said with the Explorer Pass you can go to DevNet Zone, which is the best place at Cisco Live.
Yeah, and we'll be there, so that'll be good.
Yeah, we'll be hanging out there.
Dimitri will be there as well.
Yeah, Dimitri, what are you presenting? I know you're doing a few things. I'll wait for you to respond here in a bit. Yeah, so seriously, I would love to drink coffee with any of you guys. And if you're not a coffee guy, we'll make you a coffee guy. That's always my goal when I meet someone new. Do you drink coffee? Do you put creamer or sugar in it? No, we're not doing that. We're going to drink it black. We're going to get some good stuff, and we'll go from there. But yeah, so seriously, I can't wait to. And what's cool about Cisco Live is I hope they do the same thing this year, but they have coffee stations set up throughout the place. So like last year when I went, I was just stopping at every station and getting a cup of coffee. It was fantastic. Anyways, one guy said there's only one type of English, and that's the Queen's English.
That's right.
Thought you might like that, David.
Well, I don't speak that either, so I'm just confused. Between South African English, British English, and American English, I don't know if it's a router or a router or what it is. So there you go.
Yeah, let's just keep in mind that networking was basically invented over here. So
okay, Chuck,
you're welcome.
Time to move on now.
You're welcome. Anyways, Dimitri said he'll be teaching on Nornir, of course. So I'm excited to hear about Nornir. It sounds really cool. I don't know much about it. I haven't played with it yet. So be cool to see what that's like. I think that's it's been like 30, almost 40 minutes. We've been going long.
Wow.
We meant to like go 15 minutes. We get to talking.
Well, I mean, you've been busy, CCIE, lots of things happening. So
yeah, a lot to catch up on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, I think in summary, Chuck, I mean, we're going to be there. We're going to be trying to meet as many people as we can. So please come and see us. We won't necessarily be going to sessions, so we'll be hanging out a lot in the DevNet zone and coffee shops and stuff. We'll tweet and Instagram stories and stuff about where we are. So please come and see us.
Yeah, Dimitri asks us, and I'll let you answer first, David. What is the top expectation from CLUS for each of us?
That's a hard one. That's why
I wanted you to answer first.
To meet Chuck Robbins.
That's a
Dimitri,
pretty
you
big
must
one.
make it happen. Come on. You've
Yeah,
asked the question, so now it's your responsibility to make it happen.
yeah, Dimitri, you got connections, right? Like, you know,
Come on.
you're buds with Susie Wee. Get us hooked up with Chuck Robbins. Yeah, and get us behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, tell you what, Dimitri, my biggest expectation from Cisco Live is all the things you're gonna help us see, Dimitri. All the behind the scenes stuff.
Dimitri, you shouldn't have joined this call. Now you've got it. Not sure. Now the pressure's on you now. I think, I mean, on a serious note, it's just meeting people. I mean, Chuck, you and I have met once before in person. It'd be great to spend time with you, but I mean, I think it's going to be great just to meet, you know, people from all walks of life. Hear the stories, hear what people are doing. I mean, I think for me that's the most important. Just meet people who are passionate about networking, who enjoy the stuff. Know what a Cisco router is. Why the internet isn't Wi-Fi. They know more than that. So it'd be great to meet technical people who enjoy the stuff.
Yeah, like for me, it really is about meeting people, networking with people. The biggest thing for me, honestly, is the inspiration and the motivation, because most of us, again, spend all year by ourselves in a cubicle, and to come to this where it's like it's huge, and everyone's so excited about what you're doing. So you come away from that event, and all you want to do is learn. All you want to do is bust open a switch and a router, and like that is so cool that an event can do that for you, and that your passion can just be filled up again. So if you're feeling down or bummed, man, come to Cisco Live. That'll change, just like that. It's so cool.
So it's Cisco Live plus coffee, is that right?
Well, I mean, obviously, I thought that was implied. Let's see.
Are people still watching us? Have they given up?
No, we got
Anyone
more.
still here?
We've got more now than ever. It was started at 22. Now we're at 34. So we're getting better, apparently.
We're not boring people to death.
Oh, hey, Michael Montanez has a good hashtag, but it doesn't include you, David. It says "Help Chuck meet Chuck."
That's good. That is good.
Priam asks, "Have we ever been to India?" Or I guess that's probably.
I haven't. No.
Or do we want to go? I do want to go.
That'd be good. Yeah.
I want to travel a lot, and I want to go to places. And if it's worth to do a meetup, that'd be cool. Let's see.
Yes, I mean that's something else, Chuck. Just we were talking about it. So, would people be interested in us traveling to like different cities and having meetups? I mean, Cisco Live is an obvious place because there's a whole big community already going. But I mean, is there interest for us, hosting like a meetup in London, hosting a meetup in Texas, or other parts of the world, India, Australia, wherever? I mean, I think if that's of interest to people, keep telling us about that, and giving us ideas of things we could do. So I don't know if you're up for that, Chuck.
Oh yeah, I love traveling, and I really do love meeting all you guys. So that would be absolutely incredible if you wanted us to do that. Of course, it'd have to be worth it. So if there are enough of you, we would go. But yeah, if we get to that point where people want us to come, we will come. It'll be fun, and anything to help you guys out, inspire you, and get started down this career path, because I know it can be hard. Like
it's
really,
tough,
it can be really hard. So if we can be in any way a help, that's all my goal is. I know that's all David's goal is. Let's see. Yeah, Dimitri says he gets pumped up and recharged and inspired at every Cisco Live for the rest of the year, and that's I hear that from so many people. Like
I think so. Yeah.
People I'll save all year to go to this because it helps them to get through the year. I mean, it really is tough. I remember sitting in my cubicle at work, and I couldn't go to Cisco Live, but you better believe I was watching those keynotes live on YouTube. I was just so pumped about. I was pumped on even being there. I was just watching it on YouTube. So I'm hoping that David and I can kind of bring it. If you can't go, we can bring a little bit to you, just a little bit, maybe a lot, depending on how crazy we are. So I'm hoping you can feel like you're there. That's what I'm hoping for. And then another person asking about my CCIE prep. Walter, don't worry about it. It's been rough because I've been super busy. I'm leaving tomorrow on a trip, and I'll be gone for 2 weeks. I'll be in Oregon for a week, and then I'll go straight from Oregon to San Diego to Cisco Live. So I'll be doing a lot of plane study and some stuff. But
you're doing your lab before the end of the year, aren't you, Chuck?
Oh, shut your mouth. Gosh, no.
No pressure.
I can't say no to anything, but I'm just gonna see how the exam is, see how badly it kicks my butt. Is there a stone's throw chance I'll actually pass? I don't think so. Honestly, no, because people study for a long time for this exam, and I'm giving it just like I'm just gonna take it like I'm some amazing guy. No, I'm not amazing. I'm probably gonna fail. This is just for me to gauge, and like the reason I'm doing this CCIE at CiscoLIVE is because they give you a free exam. And last year, I forgot to schedule my exam, and that was wasted. So this year, I'm like, I'm not gonna forget to schedule it, first of all, and second, I'm not studying for any particular Cisco certification, so I'll just go for the biggest one and see what it's like, because I think it'd be a really cool experience. And yeah. I've been toying with the idea of going for it anyway, so this will be my gauntlet, my test. We'll see. Anyways, I think David or Michael Montanez wants to know, David. He wants some inside information on GNS3, any updates, because I know we've had that browser thing teased, and I installed the beta or the alpha or whatever it was, and it was cool, but what should be coming down the pipe?
Yeah, I mean, so beta 2 has just been released a few days ago, so 2.2, the latest release, is now available. The thing about GNS3 is open source, so I mean, you can see the latest code anytime you want to. Just go to GitHub and you can see the latest stuff that's being published. It's not like a corporate where stuff is held back. A lot of the stuff is just published directly to GitHub. So if you want the latest releases, the latest information, GitHub's a good place. But the long and short is 2.2 is the new release. So 2.2.0 will be released with a read-only version of the web browser. So you still have to make changes using the local executable. But 2.2.1, which I believe is around, it varies. I mean, Jeremy and the team are really small that do the work in GNS3. So they, timelines can slip. But hopefully by September, the read-write version will be available. So 2.2.1 will have a read-write version of the web GUI. And that's one of the biggest changes. I did an interview with Jeremy where we went through a lot of the features, and I want to do a lot of videos, demonstrating a lot of the features now available in 2.2. So one that's really nice, which is, it sounds small, but it's really, really good, is in 2.2, the interfaces are down when you don't have a cable plugged in. In the current release, and it affects a lot of the virtualization software. If you've got 10 physical interfaces on your switch, they all show up as up, even though you have no cables connected.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Wow.
Sorry? Yeah, in this new release, they'll be down. So that's great if you want to do OSPF convergence testing or something like that. If you delete one of the cables, the switches actually see that interface go down, and then your convergence will be a lot more real world. So there's a whole bunch of new features in the software. Once again, I did a long interview talking about the features, but you can get the feature list of GNS3's website. Is there any other thing that you were specifically looking for in GNS3? I mean, I think the read-write web browser is a big thing, because that means in future you don't need the GUI. A lot of people have had issues, and I mean, I'll just highlight this as one major issue. A lot of people have had issues with the latest release of VMware. If you use VMware Player, not Workstation, but Pro, but the Player version, there's a lot of issues with VIX integration with the GUI and the GNS3 VM. Basically, you've got to go back to an old version. Those kind of issues will disappear when we have the read-write version of the browser, because you just need a VM. You can basically do away with the GUI executable. So I think that will be great. So this first release 2.2.0 is a step towards that. They're only going to release the read-only version of the GUI, but at least that gets you used to just using the VM. And then say by the end of the year, you could do away entirely, hopefully, with the local GNS3 executable and just run with a VM. I mean, Chuck, you and I were talking about setting up GNS3 in your data center on your ESXi server. Mm-hmm. I mean, this makes it a lot better because you just put the VM on your ESXi server. You don't need any executable locally. You don't need to set up a VPN, that kind of stuff. You just point your web browser to the GNS3 VM, and that's all you need.
That would be awesome.
That would be it's going to change a lot of things for a lot of people. So hopefully that answered the question. But there are quite a few other little features like Hyper-V. I mean, I can turn this into a GNS3 discussion if you want to.
Yeah,
I mean, Hyper-V support is coming.
I'm falling asleep over here, David.
Yeah, sorry. Enough then. Moving along.
I'm just kidding. So Priyam has a good question. He asked this earlier. He says, preparing for CCENT, but suddenly he's like really interested in cloud, and wants to know what he should do.
Do CSENT first.
Well, I mean, I would say yeah, do CCENT, but no, yeah, that's a good answer actually. Yeah, I would say do CCENT first, no doubt. You can knock that out within a relative time. That's 3-4 months. If you really hustle, it can be earlier than that. But then after that, I'm guessing that's what your question is. I say do both. We always say do both. Like if you're interested in something else, it'll only complement that. So do both. Don't sell yourself short.
I mean, we had the interview with Bart. I mean, he was saying that being a network engineer, you have a lot of advantages. I mean, Bart's the CBT Nuggets instructor who does a lot of AWS stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised that he was saying, network engineers have an advantage. He did networking before he got into AWS. That interview that I had with Ivan Pepelnyak, he was adamant, and he made a good point. He said, if you learn about cloud, if you've just got one VM, you don't need to know about networking. But if you have a whole bunch of distributed systems, very quickly becomes a traditional networking issue. You've got to think about load balancing. You've got to think about firewalls, all that kind of stuff. So in answer to the question, there's no harm in learning networking and then doing cloud.
It's exciting too. Like I follow Daniel Dibb. He's one of the other Cisco IT Blog Awards winners, and on Twitter, and he's been exploring Cisco Cloud or cloud and networking, and it sounds really cool. Like I want to interview him. So Daniel Dibb, if you're watching, or if you ever hear about this, or if you know Daniel Dibb, tell him I want to interview him, because it's fascinating. Like I deal with Azure, but I don't do anything like super complicated with networking yet. I plan on doing it, but it's a fascinating area, and it's going to have it won't be the exact same as on-prem networking, but it will have new, different, and engaging challenges that we're going to have to figure out how to work. It's going to be fun, really fun.
I mean, basically the answer is learn networking and cloud, as you said, Chuck. Guys say it's too much. I mean, you got to specialize at some point. Are you going to become a network automation engineer? Are you going to become a cloud engineer? I mean, you're doing Azure, Chuck. I mean, tell me, did your network experience make it more difficult, or did it make it easier to learn Azure?
Oh, without a doubt, it made it so much easier, because there's so many things. Like I try to put myself in the shoes of someone who didn't know networking coming into it, and yeah, it would be hard. I'm like, you have to understand subnets, you have to understand IP addressing, you have to understand all kinds of stuff, VPNs, and it's just crazy. So the cloud is just kind of the everything you learn about on-prem, it applies to the cloud. Everything from servers to networking to programming, everything. It's just up there.
I was just going to say, it's not a fluffy cloud, is it? I mean, it's still physical servers, it's still physical routers and switches, it's still physical infrastructure, it's just hosted somewhere else. But you still have to apply all the basics.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt. So we're running out of time here because I do have to go. I have to pack for my trip. And let's see.
Bad excuse.
I know it's horrible. Hey, we're going to go live a lot. We'll do it in about 2 weeks or a week and a half. Let's see. Where was it? Oh, Mr. J. Actually, we'll do 2 questions because I saw a question from Dimitri. He said, are we going to be excited about, where was it? Dimitri, where are you at? Are you looking forward to see the new viral at CiscoLIVE?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Dimitri, I know you did some work on that. So, I mean, or some interaction with the viral team. So that's something I definitely want to see. Yeah, compare it to GNS3, compare it to Packet Tracer, those kind of things.
Yeah, I've very recently been playing with all of these things, seeing what's best to use for like a CCIE type of lab. So I've been playing with Viral, been playing with GNS3, been playing with Boson, and I'm curious how they all compare. So David and I will be making more videos about this, and we're really excited to see what Viral has at CiscoLIVE. Because like right now, I think out of all the solutions, I think maybe GNS3 and Viral tie with how complicated it is to set it up. I think Viral might just be a little bit more complicated because of all the working parts.
GNS3 is easy. Come on.
Well, it's like the whole cloud thing. Like if you're coming at it and you don't know virtualization, you don't understand any of that stuff.
I'm kidding.
It's
tough.
Yeah, coming from the guy who has like 15 training videos on his YouTube channel for GNS3.
So Dimitri, there you go. You need to talk to the Viral guys as well. Get us set up with them as well.
Yeah, Dimitri, we'll send you a list of things you got to do.
You're going to be working hard. Dimitri.
Welcome to the team. And then there's one more question, then I got to get out of here. It was, where'd it go? Can you expect a 6-figure salary with a CCNP and 5 years experience, or should you go for a CCIE for that kind of salary? I can speak from experience that before I had a CCNP, I had a 6-figure salary. I had about 5 years of experience. So I think it comes down to at that point where you are. If you're in the U.S., it's going to be very different from if you're in India or the U.K. It's going to vary.
Depends, yeah.
But like in Dallas, the IT market is really good. So I was able to get a 6-figure salary just because I had 5 years experience working in networking. I picked an area of technology that was quite rare, Cisco collaboration, which not everyone works on that. So I was worth more. I added to my skill set. So not only did I know routing and switching, I knew collaboration, and it wasn't all just cert-based knowledge, it was hands-on experience. And that's what I put on my resume. I put all the projects I completed. Like I migrated from CUCM 7 to 9. I implemented Expressway. Like you put your projects on there, and that's what'll get you higher up there. So yeah, it's possible to, even before CCNP, to get a 6-figure salary. You just have to, it's a big marketing thing. You got to learn how to market yourself, which is a video I keep meaning to make, and a video series I keep meaning to make, which it's a big thing. It'll change your career.
And I think today it's also, especially with the other technologies like cloud, network automation, don't necessarily just stay on the routing and switching path. There's other ways to get there quicker, perhaps. You don't need to get a CCIE. You could learn other technologies that differentiate you from others.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, Chuck, I'll let you answer the for the US, which are the websites to go to where you can see sort of, what people would earn in certain parts of the US. Is it Indeed, or what's the name of the websites that people can look at for salaries?
Yeah, and Indeed is a huge one. LinkedIn is another huge one. I found a couple jobs using LinkedIn. Dice is another good one, and of course Monster. Those are all good ones. But yeah, I think Indeed and LinkedIn, probably the two best ones I've used. And then I got a question for you, David. How's the Kali Linux course coming?
Been a difficult year. It's coming. Yeah, I apologize. It's something I am working on. So that's all I can say.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It's been one of those things that I've really, all I can say is I apologize. Something that I should have done a long time ago and haven't got to. Yeah.
Cool.
What do you say in America? My bad. And you call that English.
Well, how do you say it in Britain, in wherever you are? Oxford. How do you say it in Oxford?
I apologize.
Well, that's just...
Oh, sorry. That's like the ultimate keyword. Sorry. I'm sorry.
That took you way too long to say. Just my bad. All right, cool. Well, I gotta get out of here, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in and watching. This has been so cool, and we'll do more of this if you want to see more of this. And we'll be in person at CiscoLIVE, so come find us, harass us. We'll be there. That's what we're there for. Don't feel bad about approaching us and take a picture, whatever. If that's what you want to do, I don't know why you want that, but if you want to do that, do it. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks, David, for taking the time to talk with me here. And yeah.
Well, I didn't want to talk to you. I wanted to talk to everyone else. But I mean, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, talking to you, Chuck, was great fun. Looking forward to next week. Well, it's only about a week now, isn't it? So, I mean, see you in a week. And hopefully we won't have as many arguments as we've had in the past, Chuck, about switches and all kinds of things.
I can only anticipate more, but that just makes it more fun.
All the rest of it.
All right, well, I got to get out of here. Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Bye.
Take care.